Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host, Evan Teagle, with me like always is Noah Bailey. So we have a bunch of kind of weird news today.
Okay.
like nothing like super major, but just a lot of weird, smaller stories. Starting with the fact that Marvel is apparently going to be shifting away from their current structure with their shows and focusing more on multi-season series as opposed to their limited limited special presentation things they've been doing,
hmm
which I am very okay with.
Yes, because it feels like we're getting a lot of shows that kind of are just doing their own thing, which in theory is fine,
Mm,
but like after like the eighth one, you're like, okay, some of
yeah,
this got to start coming together.
and I feel like just throwing the blanket of like the 6 episode event onto every single show they made was a huge mistake. Because
Yeah.
Falcon and Winter Soldier, that was clearly like a prologue to the movie that's coming out later.
Yes.
That could sure that's more or less fine. I think it could have used an extra episode, but whatever. Loki was clearly always going to be a multi-season thing, and so that's how they did that was fine. But I feel Moon Knight and Miss Marvel, especially Miss Marvel, but those two
Mm.
specifically, those really should have been structured more like a first season of a thing that could keep going.
Yes. Because I agree with that because it feels like for both of those shows specifically, but kind of not all of the shows, but most of the shows, it's kind of had this vibe of we're kind of just going along, going along. We're like 4 episodes in, and we're still kind of still going along. And then five, something almost happened. Then six, everything happens
Yes. Oh
because
yes.
they know they have to wrap it up, and it's like, I that felt incredibly rushed
Yep.
again, and you're
Like
just kind of like,
like Hawkeye especially was like that, where it's like we want to make a
yes,
Hawkeye movie, but that won't be profitable. So let's make a 6 episode show and have 4 of those episodes not matter, and have the last episode just
kind of
literally an
yeah.
hour of just stuff happening.
Well, no, because it's like I like all I remember from Hawkeye is Hawkeye has hearing loss.
Yes.
Yelena showed up for reasons,
Uh,
and Christmas.
Kingpin
That's like
also
it.
showed up for
Oh yeah, King. That right? No, but like
the last episode. Just everything
that's
happens
what
for
I'm
no
saying.
reason.
Just Kingpin's in it, like and then like that Echo show was supposed to happen, which
It
I guess
will next
moved
year at
back,
some point.
but
Yeah.
like is I don't know. That's one of those move backs. You're kind of like, oh.
Okay.
Because like you know what I mean? Because you're like something like when like oh well they moved back Spider Verse. Okay, fine, like that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Oh, they moved back Echo. You're like ooh, I
That
don't know about
it feels like
that.
one of those things where we need people to promote this thing, otherwise no one will watch it.
People are gonna forget it exists
Yes.
straight up.
So if we don't have any press at all for this show, since the actor strike is still happening, we'll get more of that just a little bit later. But because that is still happening, Vincent D'Onofrio, who plays Kingpin, you kind of want him talking about it. You kind of want the lady that plays Echo talking about it. Actually, well, hang on.
Wait, what?
I think she might
Do you
actually be.
not want the
Well, no,
person
no,
who
no.
plays Echo?
Sorry. I think she might actually be deaf, so I don't know if she can speak. But whatever. You know what I mean? Her, um, uh, you know what I mean.
Oh man. Well, at least you can promote it
Yes,
somehow.
promoted.
There it is.
Um, well, yeah. If that's not happening, then yeah, I think Echo will just kind of fade away,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But regardless, I feel like going forward, focusing more on multi-season things is definitely the right choice, especially since it is working so well for Loki so far.
hmm
Like, don't just be like, hey, we have this idea for this random character. Let's just give them 6 episodes and then that's all they get forever. It's like, Because I don't know if we're ever gonna see Moon Knight again. He exists in this weird pocket where like he might get a season
Yeah.
2. He might show up in Blade. He might show up in the Midnight
I
Suns thing
mean,
that may or may not happen later. It's like I don't know.
I
If we ever,
mean,
yeah.
the way they ended Moon Knight definitely makes it feel like there's another season. At least there should be.
Yes.
But at the same time, kind of like you said, like, with these shows not touching anything else, like, we don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, it might just be a show by itself. Like, we don't know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But kind of because of this general restructuring, there have been heavy rumors that the Vision Quest show, which is going to be focusing on White Vision, and also Wonder Man, have reportedly been left by the wayside. So
yeah, I mean, that doesn't feel like a huge loss, personally. I mean, I know White Vision was an interesting concept, but that feels like something you can add on to something else, in my opinion.
yeah, like something kind of interesting about those two shows specifically is, if I'm not mistaken, I think in the comics, Vision actually gets a lot of his personality from Wonder Man. Somehow, again, I don't really know much about the character, but I believe that's the case. So it's interesting that both of these shows are getting potentially scrapped, because I have a feeling something would like overlap between them.
Connected that
Yeah, they're
potentially.
just like, we're just gonna forget that connection ever existed.
Yeah, because I don't. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't know anything about Wonder Man, to be
Yeah,
honest. So
yeah. I just know he has like he's kind of a bigger deal with the West Coast Avengers, which is their own like team that doesn't consist of any of like the main Avengers. They're over there doing their thing. I think Vision's also on that team, so maybe they're building towards that, but I guess not anymore. But although apparently Wonder Man had started filming at least a little bit before all the strikes started, so it's annoying for the actor to be like, oh, I was actually invested in this role at least for a little bit, and now I'm just not going to get to return to it. That's a bit annoying.
yeah, I mean, I can't like. I don't know, because they do put a lot into that. He probably got into crazy shape. Also,
Well, it
like,
was
did
actually
all
the
this.
guy that plays Black Manta in. Yeah, it
Oh,
was like him that was playing him. So,
oh,
right?
I like him. I mean, I don't know anything about Wonder Man, but I mean, if it's anything as cool as he does Black Manta, that would have been great.
Yeah.
But
But
still want him to crush that movie. I'm
yes,
so upset.
yes. But along with this restructuring, they have said that they're, which is gonna sound crazy that they didn't already have this, but they're gonna be, along with focusing more on multi-season series, they're now gonna have a series showrunner that'll have a plot and show Bible that they'll be going off of while making the show, which every show has except for these Marvel shows.
Wait, did they not have that?
No, there have been reports coming out, like since this has come out, there have
What
been
does that
several
mean?
reports of either Marvel or the actors or just everybody like on set either like kicking out the showrunner or just ignoring them completely. So like there is someone who is like the director or like the creative person on the series, like especially apparently Secret Invasion was the biggest was the biggest for this. Apparently the guy literally like who was creating the show got kicked out like halfway through the production of it, and they just kept making it, and we got what we got from that.
Wait. Why? Did he do something wrong, or
I
they
don't
just
know.
didn't like his ideas?
I guess they just didn't.
Did he call someone like what? What did he call someone a name? Like, I'm so confused how that
I don't
happens.
know. But like it
Like,
seems
how
to
do
be
you just?
seems to be a consistent problem, and you can, knowing this information. Apparently, it also happened with Falcon and Winter Soldier. Knowing this information, that makes so much sense, because clearly Falcon and Winter Soldier had major reshoots to completely change the ending of that to be not what was they're building up to.
Yeah.
Secret Invasion clearly like changed direction like
I didn't know
twice
what they
throughout
were
that
doing.
show.
Yeah, no. Wait, okay, but like, so let's walk through this. So
Mm,
essentially, we have our cast, we have our direct everybody, and the guy basically running the show is like, all right, here's how we're gonna do it, and they're all just like, nah,
yeah,
that's
like
not what
either
we
Kevin
doing.
Feige or
And
someone from Marvel is like, yeah, we're actually going to be doing it this way, and he's like, but I'm the showrunner. It's like, well, your name will be in the credits, but we're going to do it this way.
I mean, but then what? But aren't you guys doing the same thing? Like, aren't they on the same? Doesn't Kevin Feige kind of just say, hey, this is what needs to happen, make this happen? Because I mean, if he's the guy in charge, doesn't he decide what does what? Because I mean, I assume the showrunner can kind of choose how certain things happen,
Mm-hmm.
but like, you can't be like, you know what? I'm just gonna make everyone a scroll, and that just works. You know, and it's like,
Uh-huh.
well, no, I don't want this to happen. If Kagan Feige says no, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have no
Because
idea.
cause the way most shows work, like for example, Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, Vince Gilligan was the showrunner for that entire universe. And there's this thing called a show Bible where essentially they have like a very basic plot trajectory they want to hit, like things they want to hit throughout the show, the way characters should act, things characters should do, things they should never do, and if they break that, it should be deliberate and not like, just be like, oh, they're out of character randomly for doing this thing, like, which happens, very late in series all the time when either the showrunner leaves or like, or they've just, jumped the shark so many times they're just like, yeah, do whatever. Like, something like The Office. After a while, people just kind of started doing stuff.
Yeah.
um, so, so like when you actually have the showrunner have basically the entire series mapped out from the beginning,
Right.
like it turned out to be one of the greatest shows of all time. Like, and then using that information is like, okay, we're gonna make this prequel to this show, and because I am still the same showrunner and I had this plot bible, we're gonna be like, okay, this prequel needs to match things that happened here to make sure
Right.
you know nothing weird happens there. When you just have somebody who's just designated to sit in the director's chair and just essentially mouth off orders from on high to be like, hey, do it this way, it's just not, it's not gonna feel right. So I think deciding, yeah, we're gonna have specific showrunners, we're gonna have specific like things that other shows normally have is the right call.
Yeah. It's so weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
It is, right?
Yeah, like they're just like, yeah, we're just not. Wait, why? Like that. Like my thing is like, it's not even like it feels like they're just kind of just doing whatever they want, which I feel like is like the
Mhm.
opposite of how this is supposed to go. It's supposed to be a really intricate thing, but they're just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Like, I have a feeling that Secret Invasion was the final kick in the pants to be like, yeah, we
Probably.
need to fix what we're doing. People are liking how Loki is going, so we'll keep doing that. We're gonna do more stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense though, because I mean, you kind of have to just. I mean, you kind of just have to, bro.
Hmm.
Like, there's no real. I mean, like, I don't know, because again, like having a million shows does feel kind of, especially when most of them are rush, choppy, and not really like that much substance. Like,
Hmm.
it feels like let's stick to what was good and just do that again and build off that. Because I feel like it makes the shows be more worth watching. Because I feel like a lot of the reason people don't like a lot of the shows because it's like, well, it's just 6 episodes. If anything important happens, I can always just get caught up
Yeah.
versus like with Loki. Obviously, Loki's a little unfair because we've known Loki as a character for a long time
Yeah, that's
before
true.
this, but the show in itself is captivating, it gets you going, there's good concepts, and it builds off of itself, not
Hmm.
necessarily builds off the coattails of a movie from however long ago to maybe or maybe not set up something later.
Yeah. And if they did go into most of these shows with the idea that it could get, you know, a sequel season down the line, I think Miss Marvel would become a very different show. It should have been a
Yeah.
very different show where, we had that middle part where it basically felt like a completely different thing was going on. Then they jumped back to the first two episodes of the last, like, that easily could have been two seasons, but they squished it into 6 episodes. Same with Secret Invasion. Like, that should have been like at least 8 episodes, but they had to be like, no, 6 for some reason. Whereas She-Hulk randomly got 9 episodes, and that was like, I don't know why that randomly decided to be, why that got greenlit to be more, but I'm fine with it, I guess.
I
I just
guess.
wish
I
that
mean, but good.
I just wish that other shows also got that, that liberty to tell what they need to tell in more time. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think my thing about that too is like, even though She-Hulk got more episodes, it still didn't feel any longer. It just kind of felt
Yeah.
the same kind of thing. Just it was like more episodes of things that wasn't necessarily essential
Mm.
to the full story, so it kind of had the same problem.
Yeah.
But
So another kind of issue with Marvel stuff, well, kind of recently is, with the Marvel shows, is most of them essentially were, let's make just a very long movie. Each episode will just pick up right where the last one left off and just make one long movie.
mm-hmm.
Each individual episode will maybe kind of have a beginning, middle, and end, but more or less is one long movie. Whereas She-Hulk, it really did feel like these were episodic. Like, there was a grander plot, but it was like, each one was their own contained thing, and I appreciated that, at least that aspect of it. I just hope other Marvel shows going forward can do something similar.
Yeah, I think so. Just like kind of follow what's working and not just kind of, oh yeah, let's just keep making more shows and eventually one of them will be good. It's like, or take the ones that are already good, double down on those, and kind of just leave the rest to go. Because like, I know you can't really with WandaVision because that's kind of over, but like Loki, I think they did a good job
Mm-hmm.
of like, you know what, this is going well. We're gonna keep doing this. And again, the same thing they need to do with Moon Knight, just kind of
Mm-hmm.
pick it back up and let's keep this going because people really got captivated by the mystery, the story, the characters. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Moon Knight's a little different because it did end kind of the similar way, kind of just a rushed, weird. Oh, why is there a kaiju fight at the end? But like,
Yeah.
but it's for the most part, the show did a really good job because I was really into it. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I could see this going to another season. Definitely, I kind of I like
Oh yeah.
this character and how this works. So yeah, instead of worrying about all these new shows, just kind of go for it.
Yeah. Um, Another one of the shows that we know is going to be affected by this shakeup is the Daredevil reboot.
Mm-hmm.
Is apparently going through just a complete series redo. Where originally it was apparently going to be more of a standard lawyer show. Apparently Daredevil wasn't even going to put on the costume until the 4th episode, which, depending on how they do it, could be interesting. But I have a feeling viewers might kind of check out if they're there for Daredevil and he's not Daredevil for a lot of it.
Yeah, especially when we already have like a Daredevil series. I know it's not MCU canon, but like
Mm-hmm.
you know, but that's interesting because I know I just said making new shows probably isn't the move, but I do think Daredevil kind of gets a pass because it already kind of is a show.
Right.
It's just not. It's the same person and similar stuff, but not the same in the MCU. So, but I think you could still use that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I
But
think they could double down on that per se, but maybe just not add all these new things all the time.
yeah, I think a lot of the same elements are going to be in there. Like Kingpin is still going to be a major villain. The Punisher, and I think Jessica Jones is also going to be in the show at some point. So keep those general elements, but I want the show as soon as possible, obviously. But if everyone involved thought that it wasn't good enough to continue filming after the actor strike is over, then yeah, I think maybe a reboot is now that the writer strike is over, they can, you know, get on that to make it as good as it can be. So, yeah. It is annoying that the actor strike is still happening. I know last episode I mentioned that we thought that it would be over soon, but the studios were like, no, we're not going to give 2% of every single, like literally all they're asking for essentially boils down to 2% of the money that each subscriber gives them.
Right. But
not a lot.
That's too much, apparently. Like, but I mean, like, but you know, then like, oh, if they're asking for 2%, what tomorrow? What'll it be? 3, 4? And then it's like, I mean, maybe, but like, that's not that big of a deal, right? Like,
no, that's so dumb. But whatever, they're just, I guess negotiations will continue until who knows when. As of right now, even Sean Levy is like, if the actor strike happens anymore, then Deadpool 3 might have to get pushed, which we don't want that to happen. Disney, Fox, whoever else is involved, we don't want that.
We don't, but
yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, so how long has this been going on now officially? Do we know?
I know the writer's strike was like 148 days, started in May, ended in September. The actors strike, I believe, started sometime in it's July or August, or something like that. So it hasn't been going on for as long, but
at least like 3 months.
Yeah, it's going on. I would imagine at least 60 days.
Okay, so we get.
But considering the fact that their demands they essentially are only wanting 2% of every subscriber. Imagine how much money the studios will lose by just not having stuff to do.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking. I'm kind of just like, all right, well, if you don't have actors, guess what? You get basically nothing. Like, you're not going to be able to promote anything, which is something I didn't even think about until like it was brought up. I'm like, oh yeah, that's like half the reason people go see stuff, because like you promote it, but it's like, yeah, now especially stuff people aren't already sold on seeing.
Like the Marvels is going to flounder because you don't have like the Jimmy Fallon clip of him talking to the 3 main stars. Like,
yeah,
like I just we're missing out on what's her name? Iman Vellani, the girl that plays Miss Marvel. She loves Miss Marvel. She loves Marvel stuff. She would have thrived in that interview late night setting, and we're just not getting that.
Oh man. Yeah, that's what I'm like. You know what I mean? Like,
and that movie's coming out in less than a month, and no one.
That's what, November 3rd, right?
10th?
That's like
10th, I think.
Something like 3 weeks, right?
Yeah,
like not long.
much.
Like, because at this point they're not moving it; it's happening. Oh, dude, that's so messed up. I bet she is upset about that. That probably sucks, because it's like this. You would be like prime spotlight time, and now it's just we're just gonna show your movie, and we're not gonna. Okay, so like, even if they lift the strike today, like tomorrow, we'll say, like, there still isn't any time to really promote Miss Marvel, honestly. I mean,
probably not effectively enough, no.
Or not Miss Marvel, but the Marvels. So it's kind of like,
because a lot of these interviews happen like over a month
in
before.
Advance. Yeah.
It's kind of a little close.
I mean, they probably could move some stuff around, but it would still be like, woo. But I don't know, man. That sucks. But at the same time, we got to get this going, because I'm like, at what point does like just content in a whole without actors?
Because they're going to lose a lot more than 2% of every subscriber if Deadpool 3 doesn't come out. If if they're not able to do the reshoots for Captain America, they need to do. If like all these things need to happen. They need to have shows going on all their. This isn't even just Disney. It's everybody, like Netflix, Amazon, whoever else needs to have shows. made. Like, apparently, The Boys season 4 is like almost ready to go. They just
So close.
they just and, like the people who make it, like, we are not releasing it until the actor strike is over. Which they have that spin-off series going on now, which is also great. But like that is like
I
one of
heard
their
it.
big things. Invincible season 3 also almost ready. They just have a couple more things they need to fix. They just need to like finish, considering just how packed that cast is. You kind of need those people to around to to finish it. So you're gonna lose a lot more than 2% of every subscriber if there are no subscribers in the first place,
Right.
or no people going to your movies in the theater because there's no movies. You just can't make them.
Right. So it's gonna like you're gonna lose everything if you don't get it together. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and over the past several weeks, there's been a slew of new shows and new, like, especially reboots of everything you can think of, in hopes that they'll be able to come out soon. But if they're not thinking this through.
no, they're not.
Stop. What do I know? I don't own a multi-billion-dollar company.
I mean, no, but at the same time, you don't have to sometimes see where this isn't going to work out the way you think it is.
Yep.
Especially when you've seen like how like other things have happened. It's like, okay, the writer's strike ended, and then what happened? They caved because they realized they're not going to have stories without writers. So how is this going to go different? Well, this is different because this actor is like, so we're gonna have stories without actors now. Is that happening? Because I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, at least with the during the actor strike, theoretically, a director could like use a screenplay that they made themselves and make a movie with that. It's a little scummy, but you could do that.
Could you
if you have the no, you shouldn't. You can't.
That's what I was saying. I was like,
it would be terrible. Mean, there's a reason why they're not the sole writer of the projects they're making. Like,
yeah, I don't see that going well. I don't know about that.
But you could theoretically make a movie or a show or a whatever with that mindset in mind. It would not be good, probably, but you could theoretically do that, as long as you have the actors around and they're okay with making it. If there's no actors, you can't just bring people off the street and just throw them into a production. Over 90% of actors are in the SAG Actors Guild, so you don't have anybody to make your stuff.
Right. I mean, I don't know about that. I just, like, if you don't have actors, you don't have content. Like, that's just kind of that feels very like straightforward, but because it's like I feel like the actors have all the leverage. Because I mean, most of these people, they need money, but I mean, most of these people have other things that they can financially be fine off of. Whereas, if you don't make your movies, I mean, what's going to happen? And this is affecting other people, I feel like, too, because the non-actors that are also work on movies are like, okay, guys, like, they might be millionaires, but like, we're not. We got to get this going.
The editors, the VFX artists, just general crew on
stunt doubles, crew, like, just everybody else is just kind of like, bro, like, like. You probably got stunt doubles like, dang it, I'll do it.
Like we said before, if you're not Keanu Reeves' stunt double, you're probably not making any money. Like, he treats his stunt doubles well, but because he's a good person, a very, very good person. But
that's
not everyone does that.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
Right. I mean, if someone fell down that flight of stairs from John McFlure for me, I would.
That's what I'm saying.
I would give them. You have my paycheck.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just kind of like, I mean, he ate it on multiple occasions for this man. I'm like, you sir are a real one.
Yes.
But I don't know, man.
So yeah, like we've said pretty much every week for months now. Hopefully this ends soon so we can get back to watching good stuff.
Yeah, we just got just like like we can't go like the people will not go without content. Like it's just not
Right.
gonna happen. Like something's gonna go wrong.
And I feel like we're not even getting the brunt of the pain that this has caused in the industry because we don't watch cable television anymore. Like we
No,
don't, but you know, there are shows that have just been kind of either forced to show reruns or they've been forced to just put random stuff on ABC and NBC and all these other places just because there's nothing to show right now. So the
right?
average person who does only have cable doesn't have anything to watch
All
right now.
reruns. That sounds awful. Like,
Hmm.
I guess technically streaming's all reruns also, but like it's not the same, you know.
Hmm. Yeah. So,
I don't know. All I know is anime still coming out, so I don't
yes.
care. But
Yes. I need to get caught up on Jujutsu Kaisen, but
bro,
it's
you
good.
do.
It
It's
is good.
bro, they were not lying. They're like Shibuya's gonna get bad. Me, oh, it's not gonna be that bad. Bro. It happened so fast. Just...
The last episode I saw was the one where or Gojo like did that like time stop for a half a second and just kill like 1,000 people.
No, yeah, just like so he stopped. He used his domain expansion for
like a tenth of a second.
200ths of a second, and in turn killed like 300 transfigured. And I'm just like, this man, like they were just like, nah, let's make him just a little more broken before we put him up. Like, like there, I just like my thing about that is like I get that, but at the same time, like how will you do all that but you still got sealed? Like I don't.
He was distracted, okay?
Like I know, but like I don't know. It's like I know it's written to be like, yes, we get it. Gojo's different. Like he's like Gojo's here, and the entire rest of the anime's down here. Like, we get it, but still, it's like, bro, like that's ridiculous. And the fact that he could have done that whenever he felt like it too. Like that's my thing.
Yeah. like you just... I love how in the show they kept saying he is the strongest, and he has been shown to be the strongest. You literally can't touch him. But it's not just that. He's also the fastest to ever exist. He is literally the physically strongest to ever exist.
He's just better than you. Built different. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's not like yes, he's like oh yeah you get that. Like no. See, it's bigger than that. Like you don't understand. Like the world recognizes how much better he is than everyone else, and had to counter it by making It's like he's literally new game plusing at life. It's unreal. Right? Like it's just like it's dumb. Like it's just like. It's so funny because you see it now and you're like, yo, back in like season 1 when we were just kind of like, I don't know, man. I don't know if he can take this guy. It's just like, bro. Because like, I remember the first, like, I think it's what, episode 2 where like the first time Sukuna comes out and it's like, yeah, just like let him go for 10 seconds and we'll see. He's like, isn't he strong? He's like, I'll be all right. And I just remember thinking, I'm like, oh, this guy's going to get wrecked. So I had no idea how the show was gonna go, and I was like, I was like, is he sitting on his neck? I was like, bro. It was in that moment I knew I was like, I love this show because he does not care. Because like there had not been like there've been so many serious moments up to that point, and he was just kind of like. Yeah, I'm just gonna chill through this one.
And I love so much how, unlike most animes, where you have this stupid, overpowered being who could just snap his fingers and just solve the problem. Looking at you, Naruto. Naruto was sitting up in the tower, just chilling, literally the fastest ninja alive. He could just zoom in there, fix the problem, leave in 2 seconds, whatever. He doesn't because the show has to happen. No, Gojo does that.
But see, my thing is they write it well because like he doesn't feel like it. Like he just kind of chooses not to because like one he's like I don't care, and the other part is like I'll let other people get strong so maybe somehow I won't be so lonely at the top even though like that's a lot to ask, but it's also like But
like during that not really term that arc, but during like when the schools are fighting or like
Oh,
doing
the
that.
exchange event.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Gojo was just obliterating that one gun. He's like, "Oh, there's something happening over there." Whoop!
Yeah, no, no, like I remember when he like, I like you know how like they just don't tell you what powers he has.
Mm-hmm.
He just like, oh yeah, he can teleport. He can. When could he do it? Like I was just like I just remember being like he just adds power. Like it's just kind of like so we just not gonna talk about how he can just like instant transmission and nobody knew, and then like. Oh yeah, I can. Like the guy goes behind him, like the coat rack guy or whatever. He's like, yeah, he just looks at him,
Mm-hmm.
busts. I was just like,
What?
bro, what are you on? Like, I'm just like, he could have done this the whole time. He doesn't get like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Like, I get it though, because if I was Gojo, I would also live life like that. I would
Yeah.
just not care. I would just like walk around. Like, I just don't like nothing can like the rain doesn't touch you when you walk. Like, I mean that like if that doesn't say everything, I don't know what does. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's a great character. I like it. I like how they do an OP character, but it's not annoying
Yeah.
because he doesn't interfere with the story as neat unless it's necessary. But it's also done well because it's like it makes sense that he doesn't just Superman it and fix everyone's problem all the time. It's kind of just like
Mm-hmm.
I got other stuff to do. I don't really care to.
But the
Something
show doesn't treat him like a Superman, where like, in every single Justice League episode, the villain shows up. They throw Superman through a wall to show how strong they are. Superman stays down for a while. They're like, how are we gonna beat him? Then Superman remembers he's Superman, then wins.
Right? No, like seriously, like Superman just kind of like decides to be Superman halfway through, and you're just kind of like, bro, you shouldn't even have got hit. And like the thing I like about this is like Gojo's like if Gojo shows up, it's over.
Yeah.
Like the fact that the villains know is so satisfying because the villains are always like, "Hey man, I ain't messing with Satoru Gojo, bro. I'm evil, but I'm not stupid." Like and it's just kind of like it's so refreshing because again, that doesn't happen. Every villain thinks, "Yeah, I'm a real one. I don't care who we," and then they find out real quick, "Nah, this ain't it. You're not the one." You were not the one, and then like, yeah, they weren't. Like, you're right. Like, but yeah, I like how they have to like, basically, they treat him like a force of nature. It's kind of just like, okay, so he's gonna be over here, so we're gonna have to go this way because that's just not gonna work. And I really like that approach because like even when they like attacked the school during this exchange event, they like make a distraction that okay, Gojo's gonna be worried about this over here, so we can. Sneak in and get what we really came for, which is like, but if you're like, at any point, if we mess up, he will just kill us all. So it's, I don't know. I like how they handle that a lot. I think it's going to be really good, but man, it is, it's heating up in Shibuya. I know
okay, I'm gonna watch more as soon as we're done here.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
But first, we have a couple more topics to cover. Matthew Vaughn has confirmed that Kingsman 3 is still happening.
Okay.
So, and also a sequel to The Kingsman is also in the works. So,
okay. I haven't actually seen that one.
I haven't either, no.
I need to check that out.
Yeah. I'm always down for Kingsman stuff. Like, Matthew Vaughn is one of those directors where, like, anything he touches, I'm in. Like, not every movie he makes is, like, fantastic, but it's at least fun to watch.
It's worth looking into, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, he was apparently set to direct X-Men 3.
Ooh.
But like the script they presented him was like weirdly racist or something. It was like something about it was like treating Halle Berry with disrespect, and he was like, "No, we're not doing that."
Oh, like actually racist.
Something like the reports were a little weird about it, but like it was something about. What? Yeah, it was something like that. And he's like, I'm not standing for this. So he left the project. Like, yeah. And the guy they got was also not, was it Brian Singer? It was somebody. It was also not a great person. Whatever.
Wait. So I assume they dropped the whole, like, I don't remember anything X3 being, like, weird. So, like, I mean, other than X3. But, like,
yeah,
like.
Either they dropped it or was never, I don't know exactly the whole story. This happened, 15 years ago. So.
Do you think maybe it had something to do with the whole like Storm's like ancestry and stuff like that? Maybe,
Probably.
but like,
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
I guess I could see that potentially going poorly. But other than that, that's like all I could think of because I was like, wait, like I get the whole discrimination angle because they're mutants, but I don't get the like specifically racial thing.
But like taking that out for a second, just imagine an X-Men movie made by Matthew Vaughn. Like
sounds very bloody.
Yeah, a rated R X-Men movie with
that
sounds, oh my goodness,
intense. There's some intense comics, so I'm like, if you put that on screen, that's gonna be rough.
Yeah. Like, like Logan is more like visceral in its gore and stuff, but like if Matthew Vaughn were making it, it would be
blood splatters everywhere, just flying, heads rolling off, like no quarter given.
Like, considering most of the X-Men can regenerate, like it wouldn't even really matter that much.
Yeah.
Like imagine like a Juggernaut scene with Matthew Vaughn directing it. Like, oh my, I can't even. Oh, that annoys me. That didn't happen. Yeah. But whatever. Kingsman 3 is apparently still happening, so you're looking forward to that at some point. Maybe 4 years if the actor strike is over by then.
Should be, but who knows?
Yeah. It's been confirmed that Across the Spider-Verse will come to Netflix on October 31st.
Nice.
Yeah. Very nice.
It's actually huge. Wait. Across the Spider-Verse will be on Netflix?
Yes.
Is Into the Spider-Verse on Netflix?
I don't think so currently. It was at one point, but it's not. Yeah. I don't know.
What is that?
Netflix,
what is this?
No. Netflix needs to get their act together right now because they consistently do this stupid thing where they produce sequels to classic movies and they don't even have the original thing this is a sequel to on the project. The Chicken Run sequel, which is the movie I've wanted to watch for a while now. Was
wait. There's a Chicken Run sequel?
Yeah. Dawn of the Nugget is what it's called. Dawn of the Nuggets. I don't know.
No wonder I didn't know what it was. Right. I was expecting Chicken Run 2, and apparently I didn't get that.
Yeah.
So
most of the original cast came back for it, but
oh, awesome.
Yeah. I haven't actually seen it, but I've heard some at least decent enough things about it. But the first one isn't on Netflix. It's like I heard that the sequel's coming out. Like I want to watch the first one. I haven't seen it in probably 10 plus years. I loved that movie growing up. I want to watch it, and it's not on Netflix yet. The sequel's there. It's like why is that? What? Why?
It feels so weird. Like why would you have the second one but not the first one? Like,
yeah, and
I guess it's easier to get, but
like if you produce a new Kung Fu Panda project, you should probably have all the Kung Fu Panda movies readily available. They're on
or at least the first one.
They're on there now, but for a while they had 3, not the other 2. There was like a long while. No, it was earlier this year. My roommate and I wanted to watch the Kung Fu Panda movies. We watched the first one on Netflix, I think, and then it was like, let's say it was like February 26th or something. It was like we watched Kung Fu Panda 1, and then like by the time we got around to like wanting to watch the Kung Fu Panda 2, it was like March 2nd, and it was gone. It was like, oh, because we waited. We waited
4 days.
4 days, and the month rolled over. It's gone now, and it was nowhere. It wasn't on Max. Wasn't on Netflix.
That's what I hate when it's not anywhere, and it's just like, bro, come on.
I don't like that it's called it Max. But whatever, we're going with it. That's what it is now.
Like there are certain shows that you just can't find. Like I've been trying to find Shaolin Showdown on something for like ever.
I've been trying to find Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah.
Like I don't even.
Why is that not on Max?
I don't know.
You have every other DZ show ever made, pretty much. Mm-hmm. At least in the last 20-something years. It's like, bro, like,
yep.
Come on.
Yeah, Jalo Showdown. That was a good show.
That's one of my favorite shows. That show's
Mm,
hilarious. That's like
yes.
these like when I think of Saturday morning cartoons, that's like definitely one of them for me.
Mm. So yeah, like Netflix, get your act together. Have both Spider Verse.
Please.
um, but last bit of news I have is apparently starting at some point in 2024, Best Buy is going to stop selling physical DVDs and Blu-rays.
Are we really that old now?
Unfortunately, yeah. They're going to keep selling video games for now, but as far as like movies, yeah. They're
Okay,
going to
wait.
phase it.
So, is there anything physical after Blu-ray that I don't know about, or is that like it?
Like Ultra 4K. I think it's still a Blu-ray though, but I think the idea is they're
No
getting rid of
disc.
the entire aisles is going to be gone. Yeah, no disc.
So it's only streaming now, basically.
I
I mean, like,
guess
that's like I get DVDs, but like Blu-rays too. Like, I don't know. I don't love that.
no. I
Like, I
don't
get they're
either.
streaming everywhere, but like with inconsistent streaming, that feels not good because if
Yeah.
it's not on something, you just can't watch it anywhere,
I
which
mean,
is
if it's
dumb.
not on anything, essentially, so with a DVD, you would pay $20 for the Blu-ray, and you would have it. You can play it whenever.
Yeah.
In the future, you either wait for it to come to a streaming service you have, or buy it digitally, I guess, which I don't want to do. I don't really like buying,
No.
like especially movies, where like I'm only gonna watch it like
Like one
once,
time.
maybe twice ever. Like,
But it's like, or at least not for a while. Like, I'm not going to watch a movie two times within the same
yeah,
week.
it's not like a video game where even if I buy it digital, I'm gonna play it for 60 hours, and then maybe a couple years take it back out, play another 30. Like I'm at least gonna
Yes.
get my money's worth out of a $60-$70 video game. But $20 for a 2-hour movie, I don't know about that. About buying it digital,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't love that. I feel like that's really dumb. But
Especially since bringing stuff in our all digital future, it seems like all of the like bonus features and deleted scenes and all that stuff that came on the DVD, that seems to be going by the wayside because you know
they're not doing that anymore?
like if you searched up Shrek 2 on, I think it's Hulu. I think it's Hulu where it is right now. Like if you find Shrek 2 somewhere on any streaming service, nowhere can you find the like the
Oh,
American
the
Idol.
American Idol.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
No,
that
yeah,
doesn't
because
exist anymore.
yeah, like 'cause I remember somebody said like, was that a fever dream or did that really happen? Like, because it's like
Yeah,
there's no evidence of it, but like
like people
I
who are
remember that.
people who are born in the last like people who were born after that came out and can
They
only
don't
have
even know
access to
about
it
it.
from streaming, they can't experience that.
Yeah, like maybe you could YouTube it if you know what to look for, but like even then, it's not going to be
Yeah,
great quality probably.
yeah. So that's just a little annoying.
It's really annoying. I don't like. I get it. Streaming is the superior version, but you have to make streaming good enough to replace stuff. Like you can't
Mhm.
just. It's like having a notebook and then only copying every other page in the Word document and then throwing away the notebook.
Yes,
Like,
and yeah, like kind of going off that analogy, you know, HBO and Disney and even like some other studios, they've kind of gone on a tirade recently of just erasing stuff completely from their services, like it never existed. Like some of these are actually pretty good stuff. Like I never got a chance to watch Close Enough, which I know you always vouch for. I just never got a chance to watch it.
oh yeah, that's just like they
It's
just
just
took it
gone.
off,
It's
right?
just gone.
What is up with
You
that?
can't you can't watch it ever again anywhere. There was never any physical media released for that show, so it's just gone.
That show
Obviously,
was
you
hilarious.
can find it, but like,
Yeah.
but like, as far as legal means, it's just gone.
I forgot the first time I was. I think I don't know if you did that first or I did it first. That's like the funniest thing ever.
All
It's like you know, we can make it happen, but let's be honest. Like, oh
but
my
like,
gosh,
but there's so many shows and movies that like had budget behind them, had a fan base that
yes, like they just
that
disappeared.
because they were only on streaming, they were never had any kind of physical release, and they're just gone forever.
And the rights are so tied up that someone else can't put it on their streaming. It's
Mm-hmm.
just, well, we're not using it, but no one else can either. So
Yep. This was
bye.
an
And it's just
HBO Max production owned wholly by
right.
Warner Brothers. If we don't want it released, it is not getting released. Like, it
Which
sucks.
I don't understand why they don't want it released in the first
Because
place.
because if they because they're not getting their money back on people not watching it, but people that are watching it, there's a like it's kind of this weird dichotomy where like there's not enough people watching it to be worth sitting on our streaming service. However, there is enough people watching it where we still have to pay royalties to the writers. So it'd be more economical for us to just remove it, so we get rid of the bandwidth and also don't even have to worry about paying royalties at all. Like that's ridiculous.
That's really dumb.
Yes.
Especially when you know there's no other way anyone can see it. Like that feels
Mm-hmm.
stupid. Also, like who like if it's a good show and you maybe promote it right, more people probably will watch
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Like there was this show on Disney Plus called The Mysterious Benedict Society, and it's based on a book series from like the '90s that my brother loved growing up. I completely forgotten about it until like it was one day my brother we were just looking through Disney Plus like they made a show about this. Didn't know what was happening, but here it is. Wonder why it got canceled because no one knew it existed. But like
I've
we're watching
never
the
heard
show
of
and like
that.
we were really enjoying it. We never really thought a sequel like a second season would happen, but like it was a fun little 8 episode season, and like if you actually have promoted it and let more people watch it over time, which not every show, like I brought Breaking Bad earlier. Breaking Bad was not a hit out of the gate. It wasn't even close to the top of the ratings because like Mad Men and a couple other shows were kind of fighting for that around the same time. It wasn't until like season 3 or 4 where it really started like getting good in the ratings. If they had just been like, "Oh, season 1 tanked, so we're just gonna forget that this existed,"
Yeah, we wouldn't have the best show like
ever.
ever. So yeah,
Yeah, I'm not saying that Mysterious Benedict Society would get there, but like, you know, weirder things have happened.
you never know,
Yeah.
right? You like if you
Or should
don't
I say
give it a
stranger
chance.
things have happened? You
I'll
know.
allow it. But yeah, I mean, like that's the thing now. It's like we're just like, yes, I understand some shows don't necessarily do well out the gate, but like if you just cut every single show that doesn't break the box office, like you're just not gonna have any shows.
Yep. Yeah, and
Like not everything's like you know what I mean. Like not everything that works out starts out amazing. I mean, even The Office's first season has some misses. So I
oh
mean,
yeah,
let's not you
oh
know.
yeah, like that in Parks and Rec, like the first season
Yes.
wasn't great. Then it got
Yeah,
better.
but that's what I'm saying. The show, you got to give them time to find their groove. Where you just say, "Oh, well, this ain't it."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and at least if you bought a physical copy of this show or movie, you could at least watch what exists of it. If you buy a digital copy, who's to say at some point they're just like, no, that access code is non-existent. You cannot access the thing
Yeah,
you
that's what I'm
paid for.
saying.
Like,
Well, my thing about that is like, why not just have like some way to download it or something? Some way that at least you have like.
yeah,
Because my thing about it is like, yeah, if it's on streaming or if it's a like, because that's why I don't do like digital games. Like, I don't.
mm,
I know you can still put it on your system, but I'm like, nah, because something happens to my account or something
right,
happens to like I'm not like what like if I have it in my hand,
mm-hmm.
I can't lose it. I mean,
Right,
I can lose it, but you know what I mean.
yeah,
Like it's not gonna be like error and then it's just gone. But like I don't trust like something gets hacked, something goes away. A power surge goes out when I'm playing, and oh, your game's gone.
yeah,
Like
because and that also helps like, you know, 20 years from now, let's say,
Yeah.
I have kids and they want to experience some game I had on like the 3DS. If I had that game, if I had that game digitally, I wouldn't probably at that point wouldn't be able to download it from the store that no longer exists. But if I
No.
had a physical copy, I'm like, oh, just plug it in. Here you go. Play.
Yeah.
Assuming 3DS still works then, which it should. But, like you never know
Probably.
with technology these days.
I mean, it's been like I mean, I don't know how many years it's been since I've had my game. My Game Boy Advance still works. I
Well,
still
yeah, that's a
have
Game
games
Boy.
like
Those things are made of like.
yes, the Nokia of game
Yeah, like
consoles.
I mean,
But still,
Nintendo is
like
usually
you know what
pretty
I
good
mean?
about stuff, but the 3DS specifically
Yeah,
was a little flimsy. But regardless,
that's fair.
the point is, with a physical copy of a thing, you can pass it down to future generations.
Right.
That's not gonna happen
Yeah.
with a digital code you buy on your
No.
Amazon TV or whatever. It's like, no.
No, because as soon as they feel like they don't need it anymore, it's gone forever, which
Mm-hmm.
is so annoying.
Yep.
So I remember there was like a Legend of Korra video game for like
Yes.
PS3, PS4, and then
Mm-hmm.
they just took it off the PlayStation Store and it's
Ah,
just gone forever.
there we go.
And it's
Okay,
like,
so
oh,
same studio,
oh,
same idea. So in like the mid to late 2010s, Activision licensed out just a slew of Transformers video games, and a lot of them were pretty good. Um, I didn't really get a chance to play them much because I didn't have the systems they were on, but like the amount of stuff I
hmm
watched and like little bit I did get to play, they were very good. There was one specifically that was by the same people that made the Korra game, um, that was on the market, I swear, for like 2 years before the licensing deal they had with Hasbro just ran out, and every single Transformers game they made just had to be scrubbed from the shelves, scrubbed from the stores. They couldn't sell it
right.
anymore. So even though at that point my roommate had a PS4, I just couldn't buy it, and that frustrated me to no end.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like that's so stupid.
Yeah, like you people made this video game. People like this video game, but
Yes.
because again, I know this one's icky with like rights and like there's like four different people involved in making this game, but like Hasbro, just now that Microsoft owns Activision, can you just be like, hey, can we just allow this to come back to the stores, please?
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
I mean, I just don't get because it's just kind of like, but if like, why just like cut it? Like, don't make it. Like, okay, don't make it anymore. Sure, but just cut it completely. Just like, why?
Yeah, I don't know.
That doesn't even make that. That seems less cost effective,
Mm-hmm.
if anything. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the contract should just say, if at some point this is avoided, then like no further production. But I mean, to just be like, yep, we're just not going to allow anyone else to have it,
Mm-hmm.
even if someone's begging me and handing me money over the counter, and you're just like, no, I can't. Like that's so stupid.
Yep.
It's like when food companies just throw food away because we're closing and we can't give it to people because reasons, and it's like
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this isn't even a make a rib situation where it's like, oh, this is the last time it'll ever. No, it's coming back. What are you doing? Stop
no,
it.
that's different. But it's like, like imagine if they did do that. Like they were just like, all right, we're discontinuing whatever sandwich, and we got 30, we got 42 of them in the back, but we can't. We're not allowed to sell them, so
Mm-hmm.
eat in the trash, and it's just
Right.
like just waste for no reason. But I don't
Yeah.
know. I always wanted to play that game because
Mm-hmm.
it looked. I watched on because I always watch games on YouTube that I'm like iffy about. And I watched on YouTube and it looked pretty interesting, and I
Yeah.
was like, okay, yeah, I'll check it out.
Good.
Gone.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, okay, it's not on the PlayStation Store. I'll find it. No, it's
No.
nowhere. It
Like
doesn't exist. It
not enough
basically
people
never
bought
happened.
it for there to be any used copies out there. It's
Well,
just
there's
gone.
no physical release of it apparently,
That makes sense. Okay.
which is even worse because I'm just
Yeah.
like, hey, why? But like in the PlayStation Store,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like someone has it somewhere. They could just flip it. Someone could probably just flip a switch and it's back on,
Yeah.
and then people can buy it.
That's
Like, that's so stupid.
like like I don't know. I don't get that philosophy. I do feel like they're losing more money than it would take to license out
Yes.
this. But like I said, hopefully Microsoft can get that sorted out now that they actually own Activision. They can be like, hey, you'll just throw all these games on the Game Pass and send you a royalty check every month. Like I feel like that should be should be a thing they could do, but we'll see. Yeah, it is. But yes, like you said at the beginning of this, we are definitely getting gold. This newer generation, they're not even gonna know what physical means. They're not gonna know like
No.
what that is. What is a DVD? It's like, oh, it's a. Or there will be TikToks 5 years from now about what if there's a product where you have a thing you can put into your TV that let you play this
Yes.
movie. Which
Yes.
that's what we
It's gonna come
had.
back, and we're gonna act like all of a sudden, like, oh, this is such a crazy concept that no one ever thought of,
Mhm.
and
Like, we
oh
did.
my gosh, dude. It's like the whole thing with like oh, we have AirPods, and then they're like, oh yeah, here AirPod. What were they? Like? It was like the
With the
AirPod
string.
connector. Yeah, something like that. I was just
Come
like, no,
on.
like that's not new enough. You can't be like just, oh, they'll never see it coming. Like, how
Mm.
dare you?
Yeah. Hopefully, every studio can get their act together on all aspects of all that. Okay. I think that's all I have to talk about today. Is there anything else you want to bring up or discuss?
I'm just mad about this concept. It's such a stupid concept because I keep going. I'm like, maybe somebody has it some. No, it's
No.
nowhere. It is extinct, which is like the dumbest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could probably just go like somebody at Activision or something could just be like press a button and it's back up. Like even if it's just for like a few days, like come on, there's no way you're losing money on that. But
Well, like with that core game specifically, they have to go through Nickelodeon and Viacom and everyone else who like owns the rights to it. It's
dude,
yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're supposed to be getting that new Avatar game or
That
something.
looks like a
but
PS2 game. Like what are we
dude,
doing?
what is up with that?
Wasn't it with Avatar games specifically being not great? I don't know what's
No,
going
but
on.
like it literally looks like Burning Inferno from PS2. Like actually,
Mhm.
like it looks so like,
Like they're
huh?
like I've seen better like move animations from the Wii. Like what are we doing?
Yes.
It's
Like
got
it
the
looks
PlayStation 5. What is this?
like I am like I was like I thought it was a prank. I was
No.
dumbfounded. I was just like, this is not because I thought it was like Burning Inferno. Like I thought it was one of the PS2
Mm-hmm.
games. And I'm just kind of like, okay, are they gonna like do the thing where they show the previous, then they go to the future game, and like, oh, it looked
It
like
looks better. No, it's a
no,
brand
no,
new
they're just
game that just looks like that.
which is
They were
which I
given
don't
$5
get.
in a dream, and they didn't dream very hard.
I did not dream very hard, but it's kind of like that seems. I don't know, man. I don't understand how you can do that because it's just kind of like, huh? Like Avatar feels like the kind of game you could make like a crazy game. Like an
Mhm.
open world Avatar game would break the universe.
Yeah.
Like you know how cool that would be.
Hmm.
You can
Like,
just get a flying bison, just go.
imagine like my ideal Avatar game. It wouldn't be like the Avatar story. It would be like the next generation of Avatar, and like or like you are a
Mm-hmm.
Avatar, and you like have to choose which direction, like which ones to learn, which order. And like if you
Ooh.
learn one, if you are let's say the air Avatar, if you try to go to the Earth Kingdom first to try to learn Earthbending, it's like way harder for you to do that.
Yes, it's infinitely harder.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like the waterbending is easier, and just like I just feel like,
it
and like
feels so
there are
easy to
certain
do.
challenges like in each one where if you already have one ability, this is easier. Like secrets you can get like along the
Yeah,
way. Like it
they
just
like
sounds
flow
so
into it.
cool.
Well, my thing is like all the hard parts done. The world building and all the conceptual stuff is already like good enough for an epic video game. So
Hmm.
you kind of just have to just follow the rules of the show, and it'll be fine. And make it look good, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But apparently that's too hard.
Hmm.
But I don't know,
Like
because like
I'm just imagining a thing where like you're flying towards the Earth Kingdom, like the city you're trying to go to, and like you pass over this big lake, and at the bottom of the lake is a treasure chest or some kind of secret, but you can't get there until you access waterbending. You lift the water up and get it. Like that's just
You can, yeah,
like stuff like that throughout the entire
it
thing. Like
makes
move
so
a
much
rock or
sense.
like there's like a lava
Like the
wall you can move
walls
or
of
something.
fire, lava,
Yeah,
or something. Or like the different areas are like they're specific to their bending. So like you kind of like when you have the air temple, you have to use air bending to move through it. If not, you just can't get there
yeah.
because it just that makes sense. Or like you can't go to the North Pole because you have to use water bending to open it up, and it's just like, well, until you're ready, you're not able to access this point. But
That that sounds really cool, but they're not
that's
doing
what I'm saying.
it.
That's what I'm saying. That feels very simple to do. That feel not simple, but that feels very doable with video games we have now.
hmm
Like we have so many video games that look like movies. How do we have this like PS2 looking thing? And I'm just like,
of one of the best franchises of all time, you just can't put any
eh,
effort in. What are you doing?
I don't know. I feel like some studio needs to pick this up and just like make a lot of money.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm not paying money for this.
No, I want to be excited, but it's really hard.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, no, no, no.
And
Anyway,
you could have like your own moves and like
yep.
like you could that would be so cool. You could like make your own. You could like different element combo, bro.
hmm Yeah, and you
The
have
potential.
your the person that trains you like tags along with you, and you have like combo moves with them as they.
Yes. How is this? How are they not funding this? Like, it's fine. It's fine. Doesn't bother
Whatever,
me.
it's fine.
Doesn't bother me.
Well, hopefully, if they do make a game like that, you'll be able to buy it physically, so it'll just disappear on you.
Yeah. Never letting that happen.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Okay. Anything else you want to bring in for discuss?
That's all good.
All right. So with that, we will see you all next time.
Take care.